Wow, the Denver Broncos just shattered every expectation, even the boldest ones. And leading the charge? Sean Payton, fiery, fearless, and unfiltered. On his latest media run, he made it crystal clear, this Broncos team isn't just here to compete. They're here to dominate. The energy at training camp is electric. Momentum is building. And while some of our rivals spiral into chaos, Denver is rising, focused, united, and hungry. We're hearing comparisons, early ones, to quarterbacks like Bo Nix. And let's just say, after what we're seeing, those comparisons won't be made again. Not even close. But the real headline, what Sean Payton just told Yahoo News. He didn't mince words. He said, "I've coached 6 teams in my life that I believed could win the Super Bowl. This is one of them." Let that sink in. This isn't some off-the-cuff coach speak. Sean Payton doesn't throw words around. When he says something, he means it, and more importantly, he backs it up. Last season, he told critics the next time he only wins 7 games would be the first. He's not here to make friends with the media. He's here to build champions. This man just delivered the longest interview by a head coach in Broncos franchise history after a single training camp practice. That's how fired up he is. That's how locked in this team is. Broncos country, it's happening. You can feel it. You can see it. This isn't talk. This is the start of something special. Sean Payton didn't just speak for 33 minutes because he had to. He spoke for 33 minutes because he believes in this team deeply. When he says, "I've only coached 6 teams in my life that I believed could win it all, and this is one of them," that means something. This isn't fluff. This isn't preseason hype. This is the voice of a Super Bowl winning coach who knows what championship DNA looks like. Let's not forget, he has done it before. He led the Saints to a title, defeating Peyton Manning on the game's biggest stage. And if it weren't for heartbreaks like the Minneapolis Miracle, he might have had more rings to his name. So when Sean Payton sees a contender, history tells us he's probably right. And this time, he's not being cautious. He's not playing it safe like last offseason. He's going all in. What's the first goal? Win the division. That alone would be massive. Taking the AFC West crown in a league that includes Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert? That's no small feat, but Payton calls it the short-term goal, the starting point. His real sights? The entire AFC. Buffalo, Baltimore, even Kansas City. He's coming for them all. Training camp has only fueled that fire, and no one has stoked it more than Bo Nix. Payton didn't hold back when asked about the rookie quarterback. He said he sees Bo Nix developing into a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the NFL within the next couple of years. Let that sink in, not just good, not just starter material, elite. And if you're wondering whether there's evidence to back it up, look at last season. Bo Nix finished with the 6th most touchdown passes in the entire NFL, and he didn't even throw his first one until week 4. This isn't blind faith, it's real, it's happening. And Denver is starting to believe. And even with a slow start last season, Bo Nix still finished as a top 10 quarterback. That's not luck, that's raw talent combined with discipline. He was one of the most accurate and careful passers in college football, especially in the back half of the year. And let's not forget, he did it without a reliable tight end. He did it without a top-tier running game. Now, that change is fast. He's got Evan Engram at tight end, bringing explosiveness and veteran leadership to the offense. He's got J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey in the backfield, 2 backs who can punish defenses and open up the field. This is a completely new level of firepower surrounding Bo Nix. And the biggest difference? His confidence. Bo isn't the same quarterback we saw last year. He's sharper, quicker, and far more prepared mentally. Sean Payton's system is notoriously complex. Just ask Drew Brees. These aren't simple play calls. They're paragraph-long commands packed with motion, shifts, protection schemes, and reads. Most rookies can barely recite them, let alone understand them. But Bo Nix? He's not just speaking the language, he's fluent. Now he's coaching other players on the field. He's telling receivers like Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant how to adjust their post routes, where to lean inside, how to sell the route to freeze defenders. This is leadership. This is growth. This is a franchise QB taking shape. And his evolution didn't stop at the facility. He's been training with Drew Brees' quarterback coach. He's worked with Tom Brady's guy, the same coach who drilled fundamentals into one of the greatest of all time. The result? A complete transformation both on and off the field. From mental sharpness to physical health, even his nutrition, Bo Nix is leveling up. He's studying greatness and living it. And Broncos country? That should fire you up. Bo Nix has taken his preparation to a whole new level, not just mentally, but physically. He's learned how to treat his body like a pro, following the same meticulous habits that helped legends like Tom Brady dominate into their 40s. But it's not just about diet. It's about fundamentals, and that's where the leap has been massive. His quarterback coach, the same one who worked with Drew Brees and Brady, focused heavily on footwork. Because in the NFL, a quarterback's arm starts with their feet. That's where the power, rhythm, and precision all begin. And that was one area where Bo needed development. Coming out of Auburn and Oregon, Bo Nix didn't play much under center. His mechanics were raw. He had a long stride, elongated throwing motion, and it often slowed down his release. That made him just a fraction too late on some key throws. But not anymore. Now, Bo's footwork is clean. His stride is tighter. His release is quicker. Instead of long steps and delayed throws, we're seeing fast, choppy footwork into a sharp, decisive release. That ball is coming out with speed and accuracy. Let's remember, even with all those mechanical flaws last year, Bo still finished top 6 in touchdown passes. And he didn't throw his first until week 4. Now imagine that same quarterback with polished mechanics, elite coaching, real weapons, and full confidence under Sean Payton. No wonder Payton is calling him a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the NFL in the near future. This isn't hype. This is transformation. This is a quarterback on the rise, and Broncos fans should be thrilled. And it gets better. While other teams are scrambling with injuries and chaos in camp, Denver is showing no signs of weakness. Across the board, offense, defense, and special teams, this roster looks locked in. Will Lutz, one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL last season, and now in camp he's drilling field goals from 70 yards out. That's not just leg strength, that's elite-level consistency. You've got what might be the best defense in the league, a quarterback on the verge of stardom, and a special teams unit that's nailing deep kicks in August. This team isn't just positive, it's dangerously close to complete. The Broncos' special teams unit is becoming a secret weapon, and it's time people started paying attention. Let's start with the Australian punter who's been turning heads at camp. Word is he's got an absolute cannon for a leg. When the offense doesn't convert, and let's be honest, that won't be often, this guy will flip the field with ease. That's how you control games in the margins. And leading this unit? Darren Rizzi, the most sought-after special teams coordinator in the NFL. Teams wanted him as a head coach, and now he's in Denver, building a special teams squad that's shaping up to be one of the league's best. But the highlights don't stop there. In the secondary, Jaquan McMillian and Jade Barron are turning corners fast. Early in camp, Barron was still adjusting, learning to play in the shadow of a lockdown corner like Pat Surtain too. That's no small task, but today it looked like the moment he stepped out of that shadow. He disguised a blitz so well that it completely caught Bo Nix off guard. Then, on the next snap, he dropped back and blanketed Courtland Sutton in coverage, showing that he can not only bring pressure, but also handle elite receivers. That kind of versatility, game-changing. And then there's Riley Moss. His development is impossible to ignore. Last season, he played hurt and still held his own. That's the kind of grit that makes champions. Even injured, he was outperforming players like Levi Wallace, who got absolutely cooked by Jerry Jeudy in that game against the Browns. Now, Moss is fully healthy, and it's showing. His speed, his reads, his physicality, all on full display. And today, in one-on-ones, he straight up shut down Courtland Sutton. That's no small feat. That's a statement. Everywhere you look, from punter to secondary, this Broncos roster is stacked with players stepping up, grinding hard, and proving they belong. This isn't just hype. This is the sound of a complete football team coming together in all 3 phases. Another reason Sean Payton is fired up? The run game. Last season, Bo Nix had to rely heavily on screens and checkdowns, not because he lacked vision, but because the Broncos had no real ground threat. That's no longer the case. The pieces are coming together, and behind the scenes, something major is shifting. Though Sean Payton hasn't confirmed it publicly, we're starting to connect the dots, and it's clear that Denver is moving toward an outside zone rushing scheme. How do we know? It started with Garrett Bowles, who mentioned a major change in run-blocking philosophy. Then Quinn Miners echoed that, followed by Adam Troutman. These weren't random comments, they were breadcrumbs pointing to a strategy overhaul. And it makes perfect sense. The outside zone system is built around speed, movement, and creating lanes horizontally instead of relying on brute force and isolated holes like in a traditional power run scheme. In other words, instead of depending on one perfect gap opening up, the linemen flow together as a unit, giving the running back multiple options to cut and explode through space. And for someone like J.K. Dobbins, that's his dream scenario. He's explosive in space. He thrives in systems where he can read the field, make one cut, and burst. If Denver's line can execute this scheme, and all signs point to that being the plan, we could be looking at a completely different offensive identity in 2025. Last year, the Broncos only ran outside zone plays around 35% of the time, putting them near the bottom of the league in that category. That's about to change drastically. If executed correctly, this shift will not only unlock Dobbins, but it will take pressure off Bo Nix, open up the playbook, and allow Sean Payton to unleash the kind of offense that wins divisions and playoff games. You can already see the blueprint forming. This isn't just scheme talk. This is the foundation of a contender being laid right now. When you run an outside zone scheme, it all comes down to vision. You're not asking the running back to follow one predetermined gap. You're asking him to read the line, feel the defense, and attack where the lane opens, whether that's outside the tackle or slicing back inside through a cutback lane. It's dynamic, it's dangerous, and it only works when you have two things: a running back with elite vision, an offensive line that can move as one, and guess what? Denver has both. This Broncos offensive line is becoming one of the most complete units in the NFL, no glaring weak links, just power, chemistry, and precision. That's exactly what an outside zone scheme demands. Watch J.K. Dobbins in college or even last season with the Chargers. You'll see it, the linemen shift in unison, stretching the play wide. Dobbins reads the defense, sees the crease, plants his foot, and explodes through the cutback lane. Gone. He's tailor-made for this system, and now he's got the line and the scheme to bring it to life. And this shift could be a game-changer for Bo Nix. Last season, there were 5 separate games where Nix had to lead the Broncos in rushing. That's not how you develop a rookie quarterback. That's how you burn one out. But this year, if Dobbins or any back in this rotation starts logging 100-yard games, Bo won't need to carry that weight. He'll be able to play within rhythm, pick his shots, and manage the game like a true leader. That's why Sean Payton is saying what he's saying. Special teams? Elite. Defense? One of the best in football. Offense? Balanced, dangerous, and evolving. This team isn't just competitive, it's complete. And that's exactly the formula you need to chase a Super Bowl. Just take a look around the NFL right now, and you'll see chaos almost everywhere. Teams are scrambling, quarterbacks are struggling, and locker rooms are cracking under pressure. But in Denver, the noise is gone. The doubt is gone. This team is focused, united, and rising. Elsewhere, it's a different story. In Chicago, during a public practice at Soldier Field, the Bears quarterback completed just 5 of 17 passes and threw 3 interceptions, all while supposed offensive mastermind Ben Johnson was calling plays. In Washington, Caleb Williams, the so-called once-in-a-generation QB, missed every target from 5 yards out and threw a tantrum after. That's the player many claimed Sean Payton would have built around, but Payton didn't want him. He wanted Bo Nix, and he got him. In Dallas, things are boiling over. Micah Parsons, arguably the Cowboys' best player, is in a public standoff with Jerry Jones, even asking for a trade. And Jones tries to downplay it like it's nothing. But when your superstar wants out, that's a crisis. In Minnesota, panic is setting in. rookie QB JJ. McCarthy isn't impressing in camp, and suddenly the Vikings are questioning whether they should have stuck with Kirk Cousins. That's not confidence, that's uncertainty. In Buffalo, James Cook is staging a holdout. The Bills were counting on him to anchor their offense this season, and now they're left scrambling. That's a major red flag for a team trying to stay in the AFC title race. But in Denver, none of that drama exists. What we're seeing is one of the most unified, well-structured, and positive training camps in the entire NFL. The coach believes, the players believe, and the fans? They're starting to believe again, too. Sean Payton said it best. We're going to the Super Bowl, and for the first time in years. That doesn't feel like a dream. It feels real.